Welcome to the 2 or Less channel and Axis and Allies and Father Christmas, or in this case, Axis versus the Allies and Father Christmas. It's a fun game with fewer units. You can play it in about half an hour, maybe an hour. You can do it solo, you can do it with friends, you can do it with a laugh. I've had great fun on several playthroughs. Some of the early ones had too much movement for Santa, and so we reduced that down. I shall flash through the rules for you quickly. We will do a playthrough. I'll also put up the rules so you can get the whole written down stuff, because it takes longer to write something down and explain it rather than just to show you how the game does, and you can have fun with it and adapt it to your own sort of likings as well. But before I do that, I will say that I make these videos in aid of a charity called Cure Parkinson's. You can guess what they're trying to do. If you happen to have a spare dollar, euro, yen, yak, pound or IPC or a Christmas present, I'm sure that they would appreciate it. There's a link to them below this video and one in the banner on the channel page. So, before we get round to actually putting the rules up, quickly, the aim is for Santa to deliver presents to every region on the map, but not the neutral regions, because if they don't want to play, they don't get any presents. Santa is joined or helped by, not his helpers, by Russia, UK and the US. His helpers, annoyed at their year-round working conditions, they've allied with Germany and Japan for the night to call themselves the Axis of Alpha. Sorry. Now, as a little addition to the fun, because the setup's different to the regular edition, the elves man the anti-aircraft artillery. They don't target any planes, they only target Santa. So therefore, the AAA become anti-santi-artillery. I had to get that one in. And they will always target Santa and his reindeer, regardless of what power the AAA belong to or where they're placed. They only target Santa. Santa has 6 reindeer to help him out. They can absorb 1 hit for him. If they are all destroyed, Santa becomes a capital Santa and will need 2 hits to destroy him, or he can auto repair at the end of a battle should he survive. Planes do their regular movement of 4 spaces. Santa only moves 1 space, but he can have a carrot. He has 6 carrots he can give to his reindeer to give an extra 1 space movement once per turn. That's going to help him out a little bit. What else should we know? Each power can move their fighters. There's only fighters we use in this game, any number of them, 4 spaces. They haven't got to land. There's no landing spaces. There's no control over regions. They stay in the sky, because Santa defies time and gravity, so do planes in this case. A region doesn't become hostile until you enter a region with another aircraft in there, or Santa. The battles would be, say, between UK and German planes with Santa on the Allied side. If Germany, say, knock out the British planes and have more hits, they would then apply those hits to the reindeer. If the reindeer go down, then obviously you get Santa, etc. It's the usual attack at 3, defend at 4 or less. A destroyed plane immediately resets to a friendly capital, so a friendly industrial complex. So if, say, you've got a German plane way over towards Japan, it can reset in the Japanese industrial complex. It hasn't got to fly back again and come all the way back across the map, or go back round the opposite way, etc. It makes things just a little bit smoother and easier. The turn order is the same as 42 2nd edition, Russia, Germany, UK, Japan and the US, but after each power has moved any number of their planes, their regular 4 spaces, up to their 4 spaces, Santa gets a go. So it's Russia, Santa, Germany, Santa, UK, Santa, Japan, Santa, US, Santa. So you have to think, when you move the Russian planes their 4 spaces, where is Santa going to be on his move? And when Santa moves, he's got to think, well, where are the next lot of planes going to be for my route around the board? The combat is 1 round, 1 dice roll. Any planes that begin a turn in a hostile space, because air battles won't always forever clear out everybody, they can move out of a hostile space, but movement must end if you fly into a hostile space, and you must do 1 round of battle, including Father Christmas. If he flows into a space, he's got no attack, he's got no defense number, but if he goes into a space with Axis forces, he must be attacked by them. That, I think, is all really to say. The only other things very quickly was in earlier playthroughs using more reindeer or more carrots or more movement. It did make it difficult to chase Santa down with the Axis forces, which is why Santa only moves 1. We give him 6 reindeer: Prancer, Dancer, Blitzen, Panzer, Donner and Kebab. If you wanted to give him 6 more, Dasher, Basher, Comet, Vomit, Rudolph and Beerfest, then be my guest. But I wouldn't advise necessarily making it too elongated a game. I wouldn't give him any more carrots to give that extra movement, because it gets a little bit too much of a Benny Hill chasing game when the guy's flying off all the time too far away. Santa loses quite often when I've played this, and I'm fine with that. So let's get to the board. I'll show you a quick example, then we'll have some fun together. Well, here we are over at the board. This is the 1942 second edition map, as you can see, and let's just focus in a little bit closer to show you some of the things which I was talking about beforehand. Over in the background, the white figure, he's actually one of my spies from a different set of rules that I play with. He counts as Santa. He's between 24 and 25, and the red dice counts as his 6 reindeer. The white dice counts as his carrots, being a smaller dice because carrots are smaller than reindeer. Focusing in on the board, let me put the camera down, sitting somewhere comfortably. We have, say for instance, just the planes being used, just the fighter aircraft. We have the anti-santi guns manned by the elves, and we have industrial complexes. The only other things we put on the board will be the carriers, where seaborne planes can launch from. Don't bother attacking the carriers, they're not a target in this game. Last thing to do before we start the little playthrough will be to show you a small example of combat. If, say, for instance, Santa got down here to Eastern Australia, he would immediately place a chip to show that he's been there to deliver his presents. That chip just stays there, it tells you where he's been. If in there was a Russian fighter to defend him, and say there's a couple of German planes nearby, as they move in, their movement ends, a round of combat must exist. If they get 2 hits, these Germans, the first hit will be taken by the Russian plane. It's immediately destroyed and reset to its nearest, to any, sorry, not nearest, but any friendly industrial complex, which I would assume would be over here in India, out of shot. If they got a second hit, these Germans, that second hit will be applied firstly to any reindeer that Father Christmas has, and then to Father Christmas or Santa Claus, depending on what happens in the combat. If they get hit, they can be reset to a friendly industrial complex. I'd imagine they would go up to Japan, somewhere up there, and restart from there on the start of their next turn. The only other thing which we touched on briefly was the anti-Santi guns. There's one over there in Japan. If Santa gets into there and there's any number of attacking aircraft in there, those planes will still do their attacks should one move into a hostile region. But the anti-Santi guns would only target Santa Claus hitting on a 1. That's all you need to know. Let's get on with a playthrough. I probably won't show you every turn. We'll see how long it's going to take. So this here is a printout of what you would get in the screenshot, just roughly. Here is the turn order chart with a one of my experimental convoy markers. Stick that on Russia so you know it's Russia's go first. There's no purchase, no repair, no collecting income phases, anything like that. The first thing that we're going to do, so the two Russian planes that are here, one's in Karelia, one's in Russia, they're going to fly 1-2 to Venki National Okrug over there, and that's the end of the Russian turn. I'll move the mark along to Santa on that little sheet because it keeps you in check. Santa moves in to Venki. In there, he places his one pleasant. There is no conflict because Santa is part of the Allied forces. Now, Germany are next on the list. 1, 2, 3. The plane from the Ukraine out of shot. Counting and pointing at the same time is difficult for me to think. Can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and get into here and immediately get involved in a battle with Santa Claus and his two little helpers that are there. There's a plane over here from Norway, can go into Finland, into Karelia as 2, 3 into Archangel, and 4, that can get into there and join in a battle against Santa Claus. The one from Bulgaria, Romania, 1, 2, 3, 4 can get to Novosibirsk. From Poland, 1, 2, 3, 4, Vologda. We really are forcing Father Christmas's route here. The planes from Germany, we could end up being out of position. I think it's best just to chase him at this stage. 1, 2, 3, 4 into Russia, and 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3 into Karelia, 4 into Archangel. As again, they're not actually causing any hostilities in these regions, not even against the anti-Santi gun. It doesn't count. The fighting only happens here in Venki. So what we'll have in my dice tray is we have attacking fighters with black dice, defending fighters with white dice. Give them a good shake, give them a roll, and we have 1 hit from the attacker at 3 or less and 1 from the defender at 4 or less. So, back over to here. 1 Russian fighter can be reset to his home industrial complex, or we could put him over to the industrial complex down in India. Now, why would we go so far out of position? Because Venki is next door to Sikang, which may be beneficial. So it's 50-50. We're going to put him back to his Russian base, and the German plane can go to Japan for its reset. I think that's possibly the best move. So after Germany, we move the marker along to Santa again, and he is going to come down out of the reach of those German fighters into Sikang, and that gets 1 red chip. As far as Brits are concerned, 1 guy from a carrier down here can go 1, 2, 3. The guy from Egypt can go 1, 2, 3, and they can meet Santa Claus there in a minute. 2 guys from over in the British mainland. There's going to be a battle in Europe, so let's get them in there as fast as we can. So that's 2 Brits there, hoping at a certain point to meet up with Santa. Santa's go, move the marker forward, move him into Kazakh, and put a marker in to say he's now delivered 3 presents. Japan from French Indochina, 1, 2, he immediately has to stop if he's fighting the Americans there. So 1 into Burma, 2 into India, 3 into Persia, and 4, this fighter can get in going this way and take on the Allied forces there. 2 planes down here close to the camera can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 more Japanese planes can get involved. Well, there's a guy in Manchuria. I'm sure he can get involved in this battle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Japan are going to flood into here. Look out, Santa. The guy from Japan Island, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Can get as far as Sikang, where Father Christmas was. And the last guy from the Caroline Sea Zones aircraft carrier, 1, 2, 3, can get into India. So, it means a battle will take place between 4 attacking Japanese planes, that's 4 black dice, and 2 white dice for the plucky Brits in their Spitfires. And what damage would get done to Father Christmas? That's actually pretty damn good for Santa Claus. Both the Brits have hit and only one of the Japanese planes have hit. So 2 Japanese planes will now get reset, being as though Father Christmas seems to be heading towards Europe. They may have overheard my plans there. I think they should reset themselves perhaps to the Italian factory and maybe to the German factory, giving them a spread of defence. And obviously, if you try to get Allied planes flying through here to defend Santa, then they're going to have to stop and commit a round of combat. Father Christmas into the Caucasus and gives presents to all those cork-shaped children. Move on to the American turn. Well, very, very quickly. That's got to go from Szechuan. Can it get into here at all? I don't think it can. Oh, crikey. We can't fly over the neutral territories. We're still, even though we're not giving them any presents, we can't do much of that. Was that a mistake by me? It may very well may have been. Oh, crikey, O'Reilly. They are stymied, these Americans. Where are they? Oh, All we can do, I think, is perhaps go into battle. This is a good plan, actually. We're going to battle here with that plane. That is going to cause a battle to take place because this area is hostile with these 2. The Brit doesn't get involved. He's at his battle. If the American plane is lost, he can reset himself into the Caucasus. Hey, good thinking, that man. Good thinking. 2 planes from carriers over in the Hawaiian Islands region. Out of shot. 1, 2. They're going to appear over here. 3, 4, and appear in this sea zone over this side. The one plane from in East United States goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Can get into sea zone 14. That's the end of the Americans' movement. There is the one battle here. Obviously, this plane doesn't get involved. It's the Brits. He's not involved in this battle. This region is hostile. It is 1 attacking American plane at 3 and 2 defending Japanese at 4. And, well, that's pretty special. Didn't take too much thinking about to move Santa. He's going to go into the Ukraine and drop his presents to the Ukrainian children. Thank you very much. This plane begins in conflict with the German plane that's here, but at the start of a turn you can move out of a region that's hostile, which is what he's going to do. Santa gets his move. He's going to go where the Brits are, which is in Bulgaria, Romania. So Uncle Bulgaria can get his presents. I should have moved that Russian plane there. I should have thought that one space further. That's what it does to you, this. You've got to keep thinking differently. Germany are going to fly their planes in. We can get 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, a plane from Archangel can go 1, 2, 3 via Poland and 4. 3 German planes versus 2 British planes and Santa. We haven't yet done any damage to his reindeer. So, the 3 German planes attacking at 3 or less, 2 British planes defending at 4s. And we have 2 damage done by the Germans and 2 damage done by the Brits. What we're going to do with Father Christmas is he is going to use up one of his carrots, which is going to toss over to one of those reindeer, Prancer, Dancer, Panzer, Blitz, or whatever it's called. So this little dice here showing carrots goes from a 6 down to a 5. It means he gets a second move. So in the first space he goes into, he's going to move into Germany and drop off his presents. Because he's making a type of blitz move, he doesn't get attacked by any aircraft. No aircraft can attack him, which is pretty damn cool. But the anti-santi guns can have a roll at him. His second move is going to be into Italy, where the Brits are. So we're going to put a chip down there anyway and move him safely into Italy. That's how that extra carrot blitz works. Like a smoothie video, I suppose. But we have to account for the anti-santi dice. So the elves, with their special big anti-santi dice, which is just here, hit on a 1 or less, if there ever could be. The elves have hit him on a 1. Oh, superb. So the elves have done their job. One of the reindeer gets himself hit by the anti-santi guns. So now there's just 5 lives on there, plus obviously the capital lives. Oh, it's making me laugh, this game, every time I play it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Russian planes. 5 German planes versus 2 Russians and an American. So we need a substitute dice. There's a spare black one here from a different edition. That's no problem at all. And 3 defending. So we have 5 attacking at 3 and 3 defending at 4s. 2 hands for this roll. Absolutely. Oh, that looks nasty. It does. There's 1, 2, 3 hits and 2 in defence. So look, I get me 3s and 4s confused here. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits and 2 hits of the defending side. So let's assign that up top. We have to take the 2 Russian planes, reset them straight away. I think to Karelia is a no-brainer. That does seem to be the correct way to go. 2 more hits now. 1 gets assigned to the Americans, who again can assign themselves to Karelia, but though by the time they get to their turn, I think perhaps Russia might be the better place to reset the American to, Russia being an ally. And now 1 more hit has to be assigned, which is to Santa Claus. He now goes down to 2 reindeer left, and 2 German planes took hits on that turn. There's no nearby friendly factory that's going to be more useful than, I think, just going straight back to Germany. So 1, 2, and knock everything over in process. These planes are now sitting here in Norway, sniggering, and the pilots are having venison burgers. Santa's move now will be to go into Finland and get himself some presents to the children. Nice bowl of shark fin soup for him, I suspect. We're going to move the Brits just down as far as the Baltic states. I think it's time to move into Karelia for 1, and we're going to blitz move with a carrot into Baltic states. This could actually be quite disastrous. They go northwestern Europe, into the water, into Baltic states. I think what we're looking at here could be the end of Father Christmas. And obviously the plane from here can get into there too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Japanese planes versus 3 Brits. It seems light leaving that guy in Poland for what could have been defensive later on, but I don't think it's going to matter too much anyway. It's going to have to stay there. I'm going to have to accept that decision that I made. Another spare dice, another two-handed dice roll. We now have 6 attacking planes at 3s, 3 defending planes at 4. That one rolled off, but I'm going to count it because it's quite good. Oh, actually, there are no attacking hits, and there are 3 defending hits. Russia, finally, and get a chip down in there. But being as though he's in Russia, and there's the anti-santi gun here, who were quite successful last time, they get another go with their special anti-santi dice, rolling at once. Can they do it again? They can't, can they? Oh my giddy aunt. Oh my giddy aunt, the anti-santi gun has hit twice on a 1. That is unbelievable, but it happened. It happened that way. That means Santa is now down to 1 reindeer. I can't believe that. Santa is going to move himself into Szechuan for 1 chip. The US are all over the place. There's 1 plane that can fly down from Russia. 1, 2, 3 can get into Szechuan, and there's 1 more move after that into Yunnan, because we think that's where Santa's perhaps gonna go. 2 planes that are in West Russia. This is getting tight. And 1 American plane, which is way over in the sea, up in sea zone 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's in the med now, hoping to get somewhere. Santa's move will be into... I didn't put chip. Santa's move. I'm moving the chip, not Santa. Into Yunnan. That's a go there. And we reset to Russia at the end of, or the start of the next turn. We're going to take these plane down from the Caucasus and go 1, 2 into Transjordan, and the plane from Vologda can come out of this hostile zone because it started the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've now got 2 Russians in Transjordan. Obviously, Santa Claus is going to try and come this way. He's now at the moment in Yunnan. So Germany can feel pretty safe in coming this way around. So they might as well just bring their planes down to Persia and sit themselves there. The planes that are further up north in Vologda, well, they can get a plane in here in Persia. They've now got 4 planes in Persia, and they can get the 5th plane into Persia. After Germany's move, it is Santa's go. Santa gets himself into India. There is no anti-santi gun in India. That we're fairly happy with. The UK now are going to think, well, where is Santa going to go? He's going to have to try to run the gauntlet of Persia. So, British planes. 1 from India can move into Persia. 1 from Novosibirsk can move into Persia. The one that's up there in the far sea, up sea zone 4, can go 1, 2, 3, 4. That can get down into Persia. Archangel is 1, Russia is 2, Kazakh is 3, and Persia is 4. So similarly, the plane that's in Karelia can go Archangel, Russia, Kazakh, and into Persia. So the Brits are instigating a battle against the Germans that are in there. It is 4 British fighters, will be the black dice, rolling at 3s, and 5 white dice. I don't have any white dice, so I have to use a spare anti-santi dice. Why not? So 4 versus 5, 3s versus 4s. Let's see what we get. So these are the defending dice. They have got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. These are the attacking dice. They've got no hits. The 4 British planes have all been smashed out of the sky. They're going to reset straight to India because it puts them in some kind of position. Well, Santa has to move. He doesn't have a choice in his not moving on or moving. So he's going to move rather than into Persia, where he was hoping to go because the Brits would have cleared that sea zone out nicely for him. He's going to move into the sea because he's Father Christmas and he can do that, and the fishes don't get any presents. It's going to slow him down, but it's all we can do. Japan, they have a plane from the Ukraine. Where can that get to? 1, 2, 3, 4, an attack there, or 4, an attack in the sea. He's 1 sea zone short, but why not wait there in readiness for later on. A plane from Karelia, 1, 2, 3, 4, can get into sea zone 17. It's a long way off, but that's about all we can do. And it's the 4 planes that are in Japan that were reset from that last mammoth battle. They can go 1 into the water, 2 into the Formosa water, 3 into the Malaya water. I didn't count that very well, did I? Because they can get Father Christmas. Oh, shoot. 1 into the sea zone 62, 2 into 61, 3 into 36, 4... I didn't count that right. That's me rushing like a Russian who rushes. We have got 4 Japanese against Father Christmas and 1 reindeer. Oh my giddy aunt. That was a mistook. Let's have a look. 4 attacking dice at 3s. This could actually end the game here by a mistake. And they only do 1 hit. Okay, that's 1 reindeer gone. That is the last of Santa's reindeer. Santa is now a capital Santa. He gets his 1 move. The pressure is building. Where does he go? Sea zone 34. That's all he can do. Because Father Christmas has moved into sea zone 34, where there is also a Japanese plane, it counts as a hostile move. He's a hostile unit. Japan can attack him, or should attack him. That was nearly my mistake there. However, he is a capital Santa. He will absorb that hit. He will not be destroyed. So we don't have to make that dice roll even at this stage. Okay, Santa's move from here. Well, he can move into Italian East Africa. Give them some presents. Russia's go. Well, they're going to get a clear run through. They are going to be able to get down and protect Santa. So they can fly 1, 2, and 3 as far as Rhodesia if they want to. I think that's not a bad move to make. That's the Russian move. Santa's move will be to move into Rhodesia and deliver presents to there. And we are now left with Germany's move, who clearly have only got one thing on their minds. 5 planes here, Transjordan, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can take on Santa, who is a capital Santa, and the 2 Italians, if you can stand up straight please, and the 2 Italians as his, 2 Russians as his protection. 1 more plane in French Indochina that's German can go into the water in 36. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Can get into sea zone 32 and try and act as some kind of blocker, but it is the dice roll now. It is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacking versus 2 defending. So we got 5 at 3 and 2 at 4. Pretty much, again, this could end the game. I think it does. I think it does. That's the hits at 3s. That's the two Russian defenders taken care of. and those 2 hits are Santa or capital Santa wiped out. So 2 of them are lost. The 2 Russians had a hit and took 2 Germans out, and Santa ended his run in Rhodesia. That is pretty much how the game has played out many times for me. Yep, I do a quick chip count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I've got about 26 presents delivered out of the, 50, 60, 70 regions on this map. That's not a bad total. I've had great fun doing this. I hope you give it a go too. If you get a better score than me or find some brilliant tactics, let me know, because I'm having fun doing this. Until next time, be cool.